Oda has officially clapped me. He spread my cheeks and went to town, unconsensually. If you don't know what I'm talking about the freaking traitor. The traitor was York this entire time. Are you serious? Holy crap. Okay. Oh, I got a lot of things to say on that one. But hey, look, I accept it, kind of. But at the same time, I'm just like, I thought it was gonna be, because when you think about it, York makes too much sense. Because it's like, okay, she's greed, so of course she's gonna want everything for herself and get rid of all the other Vegapunks and stuff. But at the same time, I'm just sitting here like, that's kind of easy, you know, that's kind of the easy route. Because it's funny, because when I was doing my theory on who the traitor was, I was thinking it literally hurt my brain to take York out of the equation, because I'm like, this could be an easy candidate for being the traitor, but it's like at the same time, I wanted more evidence, and it seems like we had to jump through too many hoops to make York the traitor. I just hope that Oda does what every good whodunit does, and actually explains how the villain did their process and how they went about doing every evil thing that they did. That's all I want. If you can do that next chapter, I'd be down, I'd be cool. If you don't do that, I am raging for 2 hours straight. This will be if you see a 2-hour long video in your feed, it is me complaining. Nah, I'm not gonna actually do that. I'm gonna complain a little bit though, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, you know what? York being the traitor, I will only be fully sold. I'm pretty much fully sold now, but I will be 100% sold if they just explain how the process went, because I have a few questions on that. But we'll get to that at the end of the chapter review, right before we get to the Twitter comments. Anyways, I'm Vagabond Counter. This is One Piece chapter 1078, Escape Limit. So in this chapter, let's talk about the cover page real quick, because I don't do that often, but Neomads has been formed. Caesar and Judge. And they've both joined forces to really hate on Vegapunk. So we'll see where this goes in particular. Expect them to be showing up in the story. I shouldn't say soon. I should never actually say anything about soon when it comes to Oda. But anyways, moving on after that to the actual chapter. So the chapter starts off with Stussy talking to Sentomaru saying, hey, the world government is going to wipe this place clean. Basically, they're doing the same thing that they were doing chapters before. Sentomaru's been doing this for a minute, where they basically say, hey, this is going to be a terrible thing that happens to the island very, very soon, because, you know, I mean, look, we get it, like something similar to Ohara is gonna happen. One thing that we found out a few chapters ago, I think it was last chapter actually, was that they were doing research on the poneglyph. So that's why they're going to definitely blow this island up, if not worse. So in this case, it's really that big of a deal that what's going on here. So anyways, moving on to the next scene, we find out that only a part of Frankie is actually not turned to stone, and he's just sitting there just talking smack, and he's like, you brat, undo it. Undo this petrification right now. And then, of course, baby Boa, she doesn't care. And then she goes and straight up kills Pythagoras. Well, quote unquote kill, because they're robots and we know they're gonna come back later because it's One Piece. I'm sorry guys, if this pisses you off what I'm saying, look, it's One Piece. I'm sorry, I'm never letting down my guard ever again until the end of the series, I'm sorry. Any character that quote unquote dies, I quote unquote expect them to undie, okay? I'm sorry, just deal with it, alright? These jokers are gonna come back. But the scene itself is pretty freaking brutal. I'm not even gonna front on that part. So she just mercilessly stomps him to death and just looks to the side like, whatever, I did my job, time to go do the next jobs. In this next scene, we get to Robin, Chopper, and Atlas, and Atlas comes up with the idea, says, hey, I think there's a room that's sealed off and has been sealed off for a while now. I wrote it off for a while, but you know what? Maybe we should check this one out. And so they go to check that one out. That's pretty much all the scene does. It's a very quick, short scene. Then we get on to checking out what Nami and Brook and Edison, the really messed up Edison, is doing right now. But more importantly, we get to check out Sanji. And Sanji is really flexing his inner DB, his inner Dragon Ball right now. Like, Seraphim Jinbei just punches him in the face, and then Sanji's just standing there, stone cold, with his arms just folded, and he doesn't even move, he just looks at him. And it's like, don't act surprised. this is the undying power of love, which, of course, that's just him being corny as usual, but I mean, it's Sanji. What do you expect? But the scene is cool though. But it's just like one little section. Nothing much happened. There's not much fighting. Just Jinbei, just Sanji just flexing. That's all it really is. Then we get back to Luffy, Zoro, Usopp. I'm sorry, not Usopp. We get back to Luffy, Zoro, Kaku, and Lucci. And Luffy actually called, like Zoro, okay. We find out that Mihawk, Mini Mihawk, or maybe I should say Mini Hawk, has ran away and basically he just disappeared out of nowhere. I don't know. He just dipped. And so he was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go, I don't know what he went to go do. Probably go check on where the Stella body is, right? That's at least my guess. And so Zoro's like, okay, I'm gonna go check him out. I'm gonna go follow him and try to stop him from doing whatever the heck he's trying to do. And Luffy turns to Kaku and goes, hey, Usopp, go follow him. That's messed up. He called him Usopp because he had a long nose, and Kaku just listens to him. And as he's running away, Luffy goes, Gamu, Gamu, no. And then Kaku's like, wait, who are you calling Usopp? That's funny because that's the most fitting thing to call Kaku. I'm sorry, that's the best nickname you could ever thought of. I freaking love Luffy, man. This is why I love Luffy. He's just such a wild and loose character in too many aspects, actually. But anyways, as they continue fighting, Luffy is just throwing random punches and it's not really working. And then Lucci's like, hey, use your brain, Luffy. It doesn't matter how many times you try hitting that thing, it won't work. Because they know that they gotta wait for the flames to go out. These guys do not put their flames out no matter what. And after this, the narrator starts actually speaking. And he says, only one day remains before the infamous Egghead incident. However, the wheels of this tale were set into motion 3 months ago. And it goes on to show a scene. It says, this is Egghead, come in. I want to speak to somebody with power. So this is York. This is York. Says, hey, Dr. Vegapunk is researching the Void Century. And so it shows that the CP5 agents were dispatched and sent to Vegapunk. They actually spoke to Vegapunk one time. And as they tried to leave, their ship mysteriously disappeared. And so the same thing happened to CP7 and CP8. And so that kind of escalated a lot of things. And it was like, all right, send CP0, they're gonna kill you. That's pretty much what it is. Because at that point, they were very much suspicious of Vegapunk. It was like, nah, Vegapunk's, he's messing around right now. He's betrayed us. You gotta take him out. And it's super serious that they do this. So that's why they're comparing this incident to, well, the incident that's soon to happen to that of Ohara. And so we go on to the next scene. And we hear footsteps, and we see Dr. Vegapunk going, was this your doing? And then, of course, we already said this is just York, and then York just walks up, says, oh, hey, Stella, how's life going? You know, I've been meaning to kill you. And now I can, just like I shot Shaka straight in his head. That's what he gets. I want to be a celestial dragon, and the only remaining Vegapunk. And then Vegapunk's like, why would you want to be a trash human being? I don't really understand the purpose in that. But yeah, so it's York. I do have some things to say. So one of the things that I do question, and that's the end of the chapter, of course, by the way. But one of the things that I wanted to question was, okay, so were the people taking out the cameras, were they just Seraphim that York had ordered? So when she went to go to the bathroom to blow the bathroom up, she also did some extra stuff. You were supposed to be taking a dump, York. You weren't supposed to be doing nothing else but eating, sleeping, and crapping. That's it. That's it, York. But no, you had to kill everybody. But no, look, all jokes aside, so the people taking out the cameras, it was just a Seraphim, I'm guessing? Because I'm just like, what's the point in the silhouette? Was that to throw us off, or was that truly somebody else? I don't really know, but that's one of the things that I question. And as I stated in the beginning of this video, I need that classic whodunit explanation of how the villain got to where they got to and how they did the process. Because without that, I'ma be pissed off. You know, I'm surprised Oda didn't go the route that you would see a lot of whodunit, or at least a lot of good whodunits would usually do, where they put forth like a red herring of a sort. They usually put a red herring there to throw everybody off, but I guess in a sense that could have been the moment that York was turned to stone, which also I want that to be explained. I'm pretty sure it could easily be explained like, oh, York said, hey, turn me to stone, then go off and then defeat these guys and then turn me back to normal, and then, yeah, or something like that. Something like that. It could have been that. I have no idea. But all in all, this could honestly be more of a trick than I may think, truth be told. Wait a second. Hold on. I just thought about something. If York was turned to stone, and if Frankie is still conscious, that means he should have seen her be turned back to normal and then walk down there and shoot him. If that was the case, right? Hold up. Frankie should have seen everything. He didn't say anything about York being turned back to normal. He said nothing. He was mad at S-Snake the whole time. But he didn't see S-Snake do anything else. He didn't say anything like, oh, you revived York, but you didn't revive me? Oh, York is the traitor or something? He didn't say anything. Hold on, no, there's something wrong here. Hold on, this doesn't make any sense. I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're coping, but it's like, I question things, man. You can't be letting Oda trick you. I gotta make sure I just check my P's and Q's, my corners, my backside. You gotta watch your back when it comes to Oda, because you never know. This man will throw you some garbage, some straight garbage your way. I'm telling you. So that's why I don't know. I really don't know, but I find that to be suspicious. That's why I need the classic whodunit explanation. If Oda does that next chapter and he shows off how York did everything, all right, I'll concede, I'll leave it as it is. But if he does not do this, I am going to question everything. Because I'm not fully sold on this. Now, I always knew that Oda, because my original theory, right, was that Vegapunk would be hypnotized and used against Luffy and his crew. And that would be kind of like a red herring. That's what I guessed. I didn't actually speak about this on camera. I didn't do that. But I always assumed that Oda would do that. That's the whole point of Luffy's boots being broken, I believe, because it's like, okay, someone's going to try to control the Straw Hats by controlling the boots, the little gadget boots that they have, and try to force them to not move while things happen. But Luffy broke his boots, so that is a plot point that I am not going to ignore under any circumstance. Now, I mean, God, I don't know where this is gonna go, man. Is it really, truly York? Am I being hoodwinked right now? Is this Katarina Devon doing some BS? I don't know. I just find it weird that York was turned to stone in front of Frankie and then turned back to normal while Frankie was still conscious and Frankie said nothing. I find that weird. I really do. But we gotta wait till next chapter with this. I have to linger on this a little bit more because me sitting here and wasting time on video is not gonna do anything. But there's a lot of things I question, and it needs to be answered, and I mean next chapter. Like, there's no excuse for it not to be answered next chapter, because if we go on next chapter, and if we're in Egghead Island, I want it then. If we go on next chapter and we're off somewhere else doing Kid versus Shanks, or Law versus Blackbeard, or Garp pulling up on Blackbeard pirates, or anything of this, if we do that, all right, fine, I'll let it slide. I'll keep waiting. But anything inside of Egghead, I need an explanation ASAP. I ain't playing with you, Oda. I'm not playing. I'm really trying to make sure I stay on guard here. But anyways, let's get on to the Twitter comments, why not? I love the meaning behind York being the traitor. Not only is she the manifestation of desire/greed, but her name is also a play on words of the word yolk. Vegapunk equals egghead. What's inside an egg? Yolk. And that yolk eventually hatches out of the egg. Yeah, okay, I kind of like what he put together there. York being the traitor is very interesting. She represents Vegapunk's desire and greed. It seems to me that this means that Vegapunk himself has always had this kind of greedy desire in the back of his mind. Yeah, I mean, we all have, in a sense, like desires for certain things that may not be the best things ever, that may be sort of dark. I believe that Vegapunk's good side kind of stopped him from wanting to be a part of the Celestial Dragons. I think that's part of the reasons why we had one of those cover page stories where Vegapunk was seen with the Celestial Dragons. He was just smiling really hard, and it was just that, you know, he met with them and that was pretty much it. That might have been the clue right then and there that showed us that, okay, he wants to be a Celestial Dragon. he has that desire in the back of his mind, but his good side stopped him from doing so, because he knew that they were trash human beings. I could see that, yeah. We all fight ourselves with some sort of dark desire here or there, you know? At least I try to fight it. Some of y'all jokers just be doing whatever. But anyways. York being the traitor, controlling the Seraphims, and wanting to be a celestial dragon is a perfect setup for S. Dofi to be free, save his creators, and thus contrast both York / real Dofi. I hope you're joking. Alright, I just want to say this. The Seraphim Dofi theory was always trash. I'm sorry, I hated that theory. That theory was garbage. I'm sorry, look. I know I came up with the theory myself and I was wrong, but hey, look. I was in the wrong and the Seraphim Dofi people were in the wrong as well. And yes, I know this came from Morge. It spawned from Morge and everybody just bandwagoned on that. But real talk, that was a trash theory. Like literally most theories, there are two theories that people had that were stretching it way too far. And that was one, Dofi being the, Seraphim Dofi being the one that was the traitor, and Emu being the one to walk down the stairs and be like, yep, I did everything. Which, I'm not gonna lie, Emu, that would have been awesome. That would have been amazing. If Emu just walked down them damn stairs, that would have been hilarious. I'm like, you freaking kid. That would have been sexy. I'm not gonna lie. That was too far of a stretch. That would have been too awesome. That's how I knew that wasn't gonna happen. But Seraphim Dofi that's just so far out of left field. It doesn't even make sense because the Seraphim don't really have a mind of their own. I get what people were trying to come with was the idea that Seraphim Dofi was kind of sentient and had his own will. But so far, these Seraphim were just now introduced. They don't really have their own wills like that. That's just pushing it too far too soon and doesn't make a lot of sense from the get-go. I was surprised so many people bandwagon on that. I swear some people just bandwagon on the coolest thing that they hear, regardless if it makes sense or not. But all in all, I will say that this whole guessing who the traitor thing was, it was fun in general. So I'm not really mad at people for trying to have fun with it, but it's just the Seraphim Dofi theory. To me, that was the worst one. And I love Morge. I freaking love Morge. I love his videos. One of my favorite theories of his, probably of all time, is that Emu has the god devil fruit, right? That's one of my favorite theories. Because it's a nice idea, and it's kind of like a parallel between Enel and Luffy. Anyways, I'm not gonna get too far into this, but yeah, I would love that to death. You can really feel the emotion in this panel. The image of Bonnie crying while she experiences Kuma's memories, with the narrator's monologue over the top. You can really feel the weight of the impact that this will have. Yeah, no, I really did I enjoyed this scene. I didn't say anything about it in the chapter review, but this, it was cool. It's not too much to say, but I did enjoy this scene. What will become of Bonnie after this? I have no idea. But I do know that she is not joining the Straw Hat crew. That's right, I'm still on my trash. What's good? Care for Straw Hat. Oda has a new thing. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Egghead Island is the arc of booty. This is and I don't mean in a bad way, I mean booty. I mean cake. I mean Robin. I mean, god dang, Bonnie. Seriously, real talk. Thank you, Oda. You've done a good service this time. For some reason, looking at York in that position, it doesn't really help the situation, because it's like all I can think of is her crapping. That's all I can think of. And I'm sorry, let me stop. This post right here. I'm not gonna say anything. One of these days, and hopefully soon, I hope to talk about Sanji. Very, very soon, I really hope to talk about Sanji, because Sanji fans have been saying a lot of stuff recently, and I just want to talk. I just want to talk, that's all. Just want to talk. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please by all means like and subscribe. Come and join the Vagabond's journey. We will be back next week. And with all that being said, Vagabond gone.